Part 3. I've just received news from his mother that today Alex Frankovich received a letter in the mail announcing that he is the winner of the National Kitty Fritters television contest. What? What did he just say? As his prize, Alex will get to appear in a national television commercial, continued Mr. Vernon. Congratulations, Alex. We're all very excited about having one of our own students become a big TV star. For a whole second, the whole class was stunned. No one could believe what Mr. Vernon had said, especially me. I only wrote that letter as a joke. I was making fun of Kitty Fritters. How could I have won? At last, Mrs. Grayson stood up and started to clap. Then the rest of the class clapped with her. She told me to take a bow, but my legs were so weak I couldn't get out of my chair, so I just waved and let it go at that. Suddenly, I saw my mother standing in the doorway. Mrs. Grayson went to greet her, and they called me into the hall. Mom hugged me and tousled my hair. How was that for a great surprise? I was coming to tell you in person, but I happened to see Mr. Vernon on the way down the hall, and we decided it would be more fun to do it this way. Were you surprised? I nodded. It's hard for me to form words when your mouth's hanging wide open in shock. When do you get to do the commercial? Asked Mrs. Grayson. I'm not sure, I managed at last. I don't even remember what the prize was. I just entered the contest for laughs. My mother waved a piece of paper in front of my face. Well, it's not a joke anymore, she said. It says here that the commercial will be made in New York City sometime in the next 6 months. They also said that your essay was the craziest, most original entry they had ever received, and they can't wait to meet you. Mrs. Grayson shook my hand. There, now I bet someday I'll be able to say I shook hands with a major movie star. She and my mother both laughed, but the more I thought about it, the more I thought she might be right. After all, I am an original, and I'm certainly crazy. I smiled at the thought of it. What more could Hollywood want? After a few minutes, my mother went home, and Mrs. Grayson and I went back in the room. Since it was almost time for the bell, she told us to put our work away, and then she called TJ to the front of the room with me. Since this is such a special day for our class, why don't we spend the rest of it interviewing our 2 class celebrities like they do on TV? Reluctantly, TJ sat down on the edge of her desk next to me. It was pretty clear that a lot of the joy had gone out of his day. He really hated sharing the spotlight. Okay, said Mrs. Grayson, who wants to ask the first question? Harold Marshall jumped right up. I have a question for Alex, he said, still hoping to get back at me. What exactly is Booga Booga? Thoughtfully, I rubbed my chin. Well, Harold, it's a little hard to explain, I said. A Booga Booga is sort of this gooky, yellowish, slimy... Wait a minute. What a stroke of luck. If everyone will turn around quickly, I believe there's a Booga Booga stuck on Harold's front tooth. Harold turned red again. He closed his mouth and sat down. Some kids never learn. After that, nobody gave me any more trouble. TJ and I started answering questions. Melissa Phillips asked each of us who our most famous relative was. TJ said it was his brother Matt. I said it was my grandmother, Tina Martinez. Most of the questions were aimed at TJ, but I didn't mind at all. It just felt good sitting up there, sitting in front of the room like a big shot celebrity. Every once in a while I glanced over at TJ and he was talking. The kid was a jerk, all right, but for the first time I began to think that maybe it wasn't entirely his fault. I had a feeling that being treated like a big shot celebrity can turn almost any kid into a jerk if they're not careful, even a wonderful person such as myself. Pretty soon the bell rang, and I went to my desk and picked up my homework books. As I passed by Mrs. Grayson, she winked. I winked back. What do you know? After all those years, I think it finally happened. I think I've finally found a teacher who appreciates my sense of humor. Outside the building, Brian was waiting for me. He and I still had a score to settle. Oh, no you don't, Brian, I said. Just because I've suddenly become famous and popular, it doesn't mean that you can come crawling back to me now. I'm not forgetting what you did back there today. Brian looked puzzled. Who's crawling back? I'm waiting to collect the $5 you owe me for saying something nice. Idiot? Calling me an idiot was nice? Brian threw his hands in the air. Man, that's just like you, Alex, he complained. Already you've forgotten the compliment. If I had only called you an idiot, I would understand why you were upset. But I called you a complete idiot, and 100% idiot. So come on, Alex, where's the appreciation here? I couldn't help but smile. The thing is I am a complete idiot, so how could I stay mad at my best friend? We started to walk home together, and a couple of kids came up and congratulated me on the TV commercial. No one asked for an autograph, but that'll probably come later. On the way home, Brian and I talked a lot about my future as a comedian. We decided that as long as I've already gotten my first break into show business, I might as well go on and become disgustingly rich and famous. Brian said we could be a team. He volunteered to help me write my material. Material is the word comedians use when they talk about their jokes. Even now, I can't believe it. Me, skitty little Alex Frankovich, a star. I wonder if Kitty Fritters people will want me to read my winning essay on the commercial. Probably not. The part about how they taste like rubber probably won't be good for business. They'll probably just want to use a close-up of my adorable little face. I just hope they don't want me to do anything dumb. Like one time I saw a cereal commercial where they made this little kid dress up like a raisin and dance around in a big bowl of oatmeal. They wouldn't make me do something stupid like that, would they? Maybe it's time for another little talk with you-know-who. Hello, God. It's Alex again. Listen, as you've probably heard, I'm going to be in a TV commercial soon, and I would really appreciate it if you'd keep an eye out for me. I mean, I don't mind making a fool of myself once in a while, but if it's all the same to you, I'd rather not dress up as a kitty fritter and dance around in a cat dish. I do have my limits, you know. Are you there, God? Are you listening, paying attention? If you would just do me this one little favor, I promise to stop singing achoo at the end of the hymns in church and start singing amen like everyone else. How's that? Is that a deal? If it is, maybe you could show me by making the wind start blowing. I'm waiting here, God. Hey, I saw it, that little leaf on the tree over there blew in the wind. I'm sure of it. Thank you. I knew I could count on you. And remember, if you ever need a favor, you can count on me too. Just look me up in New York or Hollywood. I'll be in the yellow pages under Star.